Check. Cool. Okay. Should we do volume of the EI? And if I guess Arthur, when I'll do this, I'll look at you and I'll go like, if maybe loud, like that's louder, or I'll just go like like that. Right. I'll do normal. Yeah. Plug your ear if you need to plug in. It's at 30. Yeah. I'm feeling 3. You're hungry. Do this. My laptop's at 30 seconds. I have a charger in the back. It's like a Mac. Okay, I think we're gonna open doors in a second. Wait, wait. I want to have my laptop plugged in. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So let's wait for a minute.
Hey. Oh, shoot. It's going to be hard to not look at one another. I'll look at the lock on the wall.
Oh. Microphone, 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 microphone. A market in the Algiers. A market in the Casbah of Algiers.
Joseph, can you see me sort of still? Okay.
Shawls. Okay.
Shawls, shawls.
No.
Shawls.
No.
Shawls.
Shawls.
No.
Come.
No.
Come inside.
No.
Chris.
Yeah, that's good.
No.
No, sorry, line.
And.
A market.
And.
Ah.
No.
No.
And.
Please.
Yes.
Just to turn it on. Yeah.
No.
A market.
No.
I can't practice my lines
Yes.
before I read them. It ruins them.
No. Sure.
Okay, we ready? Yep. shows me my own form. The moon shows me my own form. Hooray, hooray, pallid companion. Why do you ape? Why do you ape? The pain of my love. Yeah. 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 Which tormented me on this very spot. So many a night in days long past.
A market in the Casbah of Algiers. The year is 1930. It is after the Ottoman Empire, after the time of the Berbers, after the Arab conquest and the caliphates, after the fall of the Roman Empire. Algiers is a French colony. It has been for almost 100 years. The Pied Noir hold status and power. After Algerian independence, many of them will leave. Joseph Devine, perhaps the foremost art dealer at this moment in history, walks through the Casbah with Samuel Henry Kress, now an art collector, who in the previous century worked in stone quarries and as a school teacher, before building his empire of department stores that moved him from Pennsylvania to a penthouse on Fifth Avenue. They are joined by Nikki, serving both as companion of Devine and emissary of Devine's partner, the scholar, critic, and writer, Bernard Berenson. Devine, Kress, and Nikki walk through the Casbah of Algiers. It is alive with activity, the migration of goods, the promises of services, the exchange of capital, albeit small amounts of capital. The three reach a tea house and decide to stop for a cup, at Kress's insistence. The three clearly do not belong here. The market is filled with Algerians and the occasional Pied Noir. British, American, Italian, they are the only ones of their kind within this time and locale. They are engaged in pleasant conversation, the kind that is customary and necessary in the migration of goods, the promises of services, the exchange of capital, albeit monumental amounts of capital. Devine is positioned furthest to the left, with Kress beside him. To Kress's other side is Nikki. On the other end is the shawl salesman.
And the one about logic. You know it?
No.
A man meets a friend he hasn't seen for a long time. Like us, here, now. He asks him, "What are you working on now?" And his friend replies, "I'm working on logic." What's that? Logic. I'll explain it to you. Do you have an aquarium at home? Yes. So it's only logical that you also have water in the aquarium? Yes. If you have an aquarium filled with water, logically, you must have fish.
Yes.
If you have fish, logically, you must feed them.
Yes.
If you feed them, logically, you must like animals.
Yes.
If you like animals, logically, you must be tender and communicative.
Sure. I can be tender and communicative.
Okay. If you are tender and communicative, I can then deduce logically you must love a woman and you must like spending a quiet evening with her at your place.
Yes. I do like that.
So, you see, starting with an aquarium, logic allows me to deduce that you like being with a woman.
Okay, sure. Sure.
The next day, a man meets another friend. He says, I met Cyril the other day and he's in logic. The second friend asks, logic, what's that? And the man says, let me explain. I'll give you an example. Do you have an aquarium?
No.
Oh, no, I didn't know you were one of them.
A few moments of awkward silence. Cress never married or had children. After his death in 1955, his foundation would disperse 776 works of Italian Renaissance and European pieces to 18 regional art museums in the United States.
You didn't get it?
No.
Never mind, never mind. Let's drink our tea. Remind me why you brought us here, of all of the beautiful and charming streets Algiers has to offer, I'm sure.
I wanted to see what was for sale.
Ah, sure you did. And what did you see?
I saw a lot. I had heard about the rugs, these charming wool rugs the Berbers weave. There's the spices, too. Too much for my palate, probably too much to sell in America.
You came to buy, you came to sell. This is your holiday.
Holiday, sure, but you're here, Nikki's here, dutiful emissary she is. Surely we're here to buy and to sell. All the parties are here.
Careful, Sammy. Remember how BB feels about mixing business and pleasure.
A shawl salesman makes his way up the street, calling out his wares. He has a strongly defined air about him, alternating between French and Arabic, before setting his eyes on the three foreigners at the cafe. He turns his handcart and begins to move in their direction, yelling out,
Shawls, shawls, beautiful shawls. Shawls, shawls, beautiful shawls.
Come. What are you selling?
Ah, is this really necessary?
My friend, I have these shawls. Many are silk, some are cotton. My people, the Berbers, we make them. We come from Kabylia, the mountains east of Algiers. Come and see these shawls. They are dyed with indigo, with pomegranate, and we use the wool of sheep. Look at the patterns, the diamonds, the triangles. If you can read the shawls, there is a history, not just of my scattered Berber peoples, but of Andalusia, of the Ottomans. Beautiful shawls. Would you like to buy?
How much are they? I mean, in dollars, how much?
My friend, I would sell you 8 shawls for $1. For your friends, for your family, for your wife.
Excuse you. We're here on business.
I'm here on business. You're here on holiday.
My friends, we can do business on holiday.
So let us say I want 20 shawls. How much would that be? And let us say 50. How much would that be? But actually, tell me about your entire stock. How much would half of it be?
My friend, I would like to sell you that, but we would need to go to home, where I keep all of the wares.
You don't know these numbers.
There are many types of shawls. You must pick which ones, what kinds, and then I can tell you the price.
Cress gets up from the table and walks to the shawl salesman's pushcart. His hands flip through a couple stacks lazily, as if feigning interest, as he continues his procedure of question and negotiation with the salesman directly.
He is always like this?
He is always like this. It's what matters to him. It's the spirit of him.
They sip their tea. Nikki quickly, Devine at a very deliberate pace, masking his impatience, knowing that his business is far from over. Cress returns to the table, the shawl salesman behind him.
The deal of a lifetime, 7,350 shawls, of which 250 are completely free, another 2,150 shawls discounted down to almost their true worth, and I didn't even have to see the lot.
He didn't even have to see the lot.
Yes, and when I've had them shipped back to America, when I sell this unseen lot, I'll have made a clear profit of $348, a 70% profit.
Mr. Cress, I must say, it's impressive you can calculate numbers like that while struggling with logic.
Mr. Devine, may I ask if I can borrow Miss Mariano? I mean to have her complete the deal for me. The particulars and whatnot.
Of course, you may borrow her, just bring her back in one piece. I'm borrowing her too, you know.
You can handle everything else from here?
Yes.
Then let us go back to our hotel. She can stay with the shawl salesman to sort out the particulars.
Cress and Devine exit the cafe. The shawl salesman looks at Nikki apologetically. She meets his gaze, rejecting the sympathy.
Who taught you English?
I taught myself. Who taught you?
A tutor.
A tutor? Where in Italy?
In Tuscany. How did you...
Your accent. Your accent. You all have accents. I say my friend so you hear that I have an accent, and I hear them, I hear their accents. You said he didn't know logic. What did you mean?
It's a long story. I can tell it again, but not now.
There is no rush. This is a place of long stories. The Italians were here once. The Romans, I mean, not your Tuscans. The Italians. It is a new thing for there to be Italians. Even when there were Romans, this was not Rome. We were the periphery, the edge of the boundary. The rules were different.
And now?
Now the French are here. They are the new Romans. But still, this is not France, despite what the Pied Noir will tell you. Many of them, they've never been to France. They're as lost as the Berbers.
Yes, we're all foreigners here.
You and I, yes, and those men, yes, but this land is Arab.
Only since the conquests, though.
Yes, but despite the French, the caliphate will return. I said we are on the periphery, on the edge of the boundary. You are from the center, closer to the heart. There are rules there, but the further you move away, the more they dissolve. More becomes possible here. Eventually the boundary will break, or it will change. The anatomy of the heart, it is flawed.
The center cannot hold.
Yeats, yes.
How do you know it?
I read it, yes, I read it. Men like them, they left behind a book, and I read it.
Men like them.
Nikki climbs into his pushcart. They head towards his warehouse. Garden of Villa Itati, 1920. In the wake of World War I and the Spanish flu. It is 10 years before Nikki is in Algiers with Devine, 20 years before the chaos and carnage of Mussolini, a century before a global pandemic. It is a lovely evening, about 7 o'clock. Mary is seated in garden, reading a letter. There is a bottle of wine in an ice bucket. 3 glasses. She is sipping a glass of wine. Sound of voices, a man's and a woman's. Mary looks up, picks up the letter, puts the letter under some others, as if concealing it, then hurriedly pours herself a glass and settles into what looks like a dozing position. Bibi enters with Nikki, Bibi in his late 30s, Nikki in her 20s, her youth and beauty radiant. Bibi is in full flow to Nikki. Devine is positioned furthest to the left, with Mary beside him. To Mary's other side is Nikki. On the other end is Bibi.
And the one about logic, you know it?
No.
A man meets a friend he hasn't seen in a long time. He asks, "What have you been reading?" "I've been reading logic." "What's that? Logic?" "I'll explain it to you."
Bibi gleefully gestures for Nikki to play along.
"Do you have a library at home?"
Yes.
"So it's only logical you also have books in your library."
Yes.
"If you have books, logically you must read them."
Yes, of course.
"If you read, logically you must like knowledge."
Yes, I like knowledge.
"And if you like knowledge, you must have ambition, a desire to apply that knowledge in such ways to change the world."
Yes, I have ambitions and a desire to change the world.
Okay, if you are ambitious and desiring, I can then deduce logically, you must love a woman, that you can become overcome with the desire to possess a woman, sometimes for a night, sometimes for a lifetime.
Why, yes, I can be overcome with the desire to possess a woman, sometimes for a night, sometimes for a lifetime.
So, you see, starting with a library, logic allows me to deduce that you must love a woman, and you can become overcome with the desire to possess her, sometimes for a night, sometimes for a lifetime. The next day, the man sees his friend's wife on the street, walking closely with another man. He politely approaches and says, "I met Frank yesterday. He said he's been reading logic." His friend's wife replies,
Logic. What's that?
"Let me explain. I'll give you an example. Do you have a library?"
No.
"Oh, no. I didn't know you were one of them."
Mary gazes across the garden, smiling with her eyes at Bibi.
You didn't get it?
I did, but
Never mind. Have a drink. So it's a library that makes one want to possess a woman now, is it? I thought we agreed to leave Frank in the past.
The past, the past, the past. What good is the past if one can't?
What good is the past? Is that the past has been good to you? And should the past change?
Yes, yes, your point is taken. The past has been good to us, so yes, we will respect it, uphold it, monumentalize it even.
Bibi turns away and pours himself some wine.
Enshrine it, consecrate it, canonize it. I shall quack sotto voce about the past in the future.
you've been looking at the bills, Mary?
The bills, why?
I didn't intend to open them, but once I started, I couldn't stop. Like smoking or eating chocolates. Can we really pay them all?
Well, they shouldn't be very different from last month's, so we'll probably manage.
Probably. What do you mean, probably? What does she mean?
She means, of course, that we shall pay them as always on time and in full. Is there anything for me? Who is that from?
It's from Corinne. She's coming to stay.
When?
The week after next.
For how long?
She doesn't really say.
What do you mean? You can't be saying that she's written to you informing you that she intends to impose herself on me for an unknown period. You invited her. Why?
Perhaps because she's my daughter, and I'd like to see her. Also, she needs a holiday.
From her husband, I suppose. An abominable little man. I believe I can say that without giving offense, as he's not a blood relative, my dear. Actually, I'm quite fond of Corinne, especially when she's not obliged to play the besieged wife and mother.
She'll be playing the besieged grandmother.
She'll be bringing those children, all those children. I shall not be here to entertain them. I shall go away for this unknown period. Nikki will accompany me, of course. Please make us arrangements, Nikki. Book us first to Paris, then to London. We shall treat ourselves to a suite in the Ritz of both towns. You shall travel as Mrs. Barrison to save embarrassment and to keep the expenses down. Go now. Do it at once.
Oh, really, Bibi? Really? 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 You hate my family because you're jealous of them.
What? Of the attention you give them? Is that what you believe?
No, it's not what I believe. You're jealous of them for being my children.
I'm quarreling with my wife, and you're still here. Should you be?
Yes, I should be, so don't you dare. And don't you dare, Bibi. My family is my family. This is my home. I will ask them here. I will ask them here.
Mary is clearly upset. There's a pause as she looks at Bibi, and Bibi looks back at her.
Of course, my dear, and I will make them welcome as always. I was only being irritable, though I like to think that we too, the ones already in your home, are also your family.
Bibi goes to her and kisses her on the cheek.
Now I must go and do some work. Devine will be arriving at any minute.
No, he won't.
What? What do you mean?
He's already here. I forgot about him because you've driven him out of my mind with all of your...
Where is he then?
I sent him to have a little rest. Had a very bad journey, some trouble. Yes, some trouble with the trains. And there's something else I've forgotten, Bibi. Your Swedish girl won't be up this evening to do your massage. Apparently, she has somewhere at 7, an emergency.
An emergency? She has to give an emergency massage?
Probably someone needs her for something serious.
She looks after the footballers in Florence, she told me.
Does she? I didn't know that. Well, there you are, Bibi. This evening, you give way to the footballers of Florence. How many are there in a team of footballers?
Oh, 12, I think. 12 or 13.
12 or 13. No wonder she won't be up to you this evening. Poor thing.
Quack, quack, quack. When Devine wakes, tell him I shall be in the library.
There. I got my own back. I know. I should be nicer. But then, so should he.
I don't think you should be nicer. I think he needs you to be like this, at the moment.
Besides, you're nice enough for the both of us. I mean that nicely.
Well, I sometimes wish I weren't.
But you don't mind about the little Swedish thing, do you?
Of course I do. Did you tell her not to come?
No, I'm afraid I didn't. I wouldn't dare.
So she'll be back tomorrow, will she?
I expect so, unless you find a way of stopping her.
I wouldn't dare.
You could if you wanted. You have all the weapons, after all. He needs you, my dear.
Much less than he needs you.
Oh, let's not get into one of those conversations. It always ends with our deciding that he needs us both, though I can never quite remember what it is he needs me for. If you're not going to put your foot down, you'll have to accept her as one of the penalties of loving an unfaithful man with an appetite. And you know, much better a Swedish masseuse than something Italian. No emotional nonsense from her.
No, only from him, when she doesn't show up. He's such a child.
Perhaps all very exceptional men are, or so women in our position usually claim.
Yes, I suppose we do. Well, I'd better deal with these bills.
Yes, it's very bad, isn't it?
No, really. We'll manage. Things will get better. The war is over. The Spanish flu is over. Joe is here. He owes BB money.
Ah, yes, Joe is a friend. Or Joe can be a friend. I wish BB would let Joe help a little more.
Oh, Mr. Devine.
There you are, Joe. You're here. Good.
Yes, here I am. Miss Mariano.
Mr. Devine.
Please, call me Joe.
You could probably do with a glass of wine.
Yes, I could, but I won't. I'm trying not to drink except with meals, if that's all right.
It's perfectly all right.
And how is...
I'm to tell you he's in the library. You had a bad journey. Some trouble on the train, wasn't there?
Oh, yes. Immigration officers, they said they were. But probably the police, really, looking for spies. Took me for a spy. And then they say the name on my papers. Devine, they said, Joseph Devine. You are a Jew. And Berenson, you're going to visit a Signor Bernard Berenson, also a Jew, possibly. It was all like that. I had to become America. Awful, awful, awful. In Italy as an Anglo-American businessman and art lover, with a special love of the great Italian artists. Here to meet with Bernard Berenson, the world's greatest expert on the great Italian artists. Both worshippers of Italy for her history, her beauty, her people. That's what we were, who we were, neither of us Jewish in the important sense of the word. Shameful, but whatever necessary to avoid suspicion with what I was carrying.
There's always a touch of danger at Itati. You brought something with you?
A gift for dear Bibi.
He's in the library, like Nikki said. Why don't you...
She trails off. Nikki leads Devine to Bibi's study and then returns to the garden. Bibi and Devine talk and talk and talk. The woman cannot hear it from the garden. The sun sets and they go to bed. In the morning, Devine has already left. His business with Bibi is concluded. Bibi and Nikki go through the bills, paying them on time and in full. Garden of Villa Itati, 1940. A decade after Nikki's trip with Devine to Algiers, 2 decades after Devine's trip to Itati, now in Italy on the brink of war. A lovely evening, about 7 o'clock. Mary is seated in garden, reading a letter. There's a bottle of wine in an ice bucket, 3 glasses. She is sipping a glass of wine. Sound of voices, a man's and a woman's. Mary looks up, picks up the letter, puts the letter under some others, as if concealing it, hurriedly pours herself a glass, settles into what looks like a dozing position. Nikki enters with Devine. Devine in late 60s, Nikki in her 40s, still wearing the radiant beauty of her youth. Nikki is in full flow to Devine. Nikki is positioned furthest to the left, with Devine beside her. To Devine's other side is Mary. On the other end is Bibi.
And the one about logic, you know it?
No, I don't.
A woman meets a friend she hasn't seen for a long time. She asks, "What have you been doing since I saw you last?" And he says, "I've been working on logic." What's that, logic? I'll explain it to you. Did you arrive this evening by train?
Yes.
So it's only logical that you had a ticket for the train.
That is logical, yes.
If you had a ticket for the train, logically you must have money to purchase the ticket.
Well, of course, yes.
If you have money, logically you must have earned that money.
Some inherit, but yes, I earned it.
Well, if you earned that money, then logically you must be both calculating and hardworking.
Ah, yes. I am calculating and hardworking. That's one way to put it.
Okay, if you're calculating and hardworking, I can then deduce logically that when you see something you want, like a woman, that you calculate and work hard in order to make her yours, and that you must like it when you've done that, when you've calculated and you've worked hard, and she is yours to be with.
You would know, yes.
So you see, starting with your arrival on train, logic allows me to deduce that you like being with a woman. The next day, the woman meets another friend. She says, "I met Joe yesterday and he's been working on logic." What's that? Let me explain. I'll give you an example.
Bibi enters the garden from his library, his surprise at the situation masked well.
Did you arrive here today on a train?
No.
Oh no, I didn't know you were one of them.
Mary and Nikki burst out into laughter. Bibi lets out a chuckle before straightening his face and getting back into character. But Devine looks on, confused, his mind elsewhere.
You didn't remember?
Remember?
Never mind. Have a drink. You could probably do with a glass of wine.
Yes, I could, but I won't. I'm trying not to drink except with meals, if that's all right.
That's perfectly all right.
I think it is time. Yes.
Ah, yes, the time. Yes, we should.
The two men leave the woman in the garden and head to Bibi's library. Bibi's clothing is subtle. Devine is magnificently dressed, wearing a silk scarf, a flower in his buttonhole, top hat in hand, using a walking stick encrusted with jewels. He carries a shiny, large, oblong case in black leather with a handle, a form of briefcase. Once they reach the office, Devine holds out his arms, but Bibi rejects his embrace. They begin to talk, Bibi calling out the questionable status of Devine's trusteeship with the National Gallery. A debate ensuing before Devine offers Berenchen a full partnership on the basis of exclusivity, in which he would receive a percentage on every transaction, whether he participated or not. The partnership would be confidential, such that Berenson could continue to authenticate works. They shake hands as they make their honor one.
So good to be here again, talking together again in a way that we used to.
Yes? Well, much of the time we didn't talk, Joe. We often ended up shouting into each other's faces. Once or twice, I found myself on the verge of hitting you.
You mustn't blame only yourself, Bibi. There were flashes of intemperance on my part, too. It's really because we're so fond of each other. For 30 years, we've been this and that, on and off. Sometimes a good marriage, sometimes a bad one. But how could we not be matched for life? When you think of what you do, and then of what I do.
And how is Elsie?
All the better for your asking. Thank you, Bibi. She will rejoice at our news. I used to be quite jealous. She admires you so much. But though I could never do what you do, I haven't the eye, the mind, the memory, the genius, yes. But then what is genius but unique? But then what I do, well, not many men can do as I do, eh, Bibi? Give me that. Not unique, but the best. But, to tell you the truth, I sometimes wonder if I can do it anymore. The collectors now, the sort of men who want to acquire great works, Frick and Huntington, were difficult men. Difficult, but at least I could teach them, yes, that was my gift. That made me the best. I could teach men like Frick and Huntington the value of what they were buying. I persuaded them that they had
souls.
Yes. I know what you think of the word, but Frick and Mellon had something, whatever you call it, that a man like Cress hasn't even a whiff of. Not a whiff of whatever you call it in Cress. That is my point.
Cress. Who is Cress?
Cress is the new man, the new American. He is the future. He is Mr. Five and Dime, Cress.
Oh, those stores.
All across America, in every state. And here's something. Let me tell you something. When he was in...
Devine looks at his cigar, puzzled, then fumbles in his pocket, stops, stares at Bibi, bewildered.
Joe.
What?
We seem to have lost you.
Lost me? What do you mean? What was I saying? You've distracted me.
It was your cigar that distracted you. I believe you were looking for your matches.
They are here. I have them.
Then perhaps you should use one.
Oh no, Bibi. No, don't tempt me. The doctors forbid.
Devine puts the matches and cigar back in his pocket. As he does, he mumbles something, and the word devil is just audible.
What? What are you saying? About the devil. You said something about the devil. I didn't quite hear it.
The devil, eh? The devil. Did I? Well, I probably said let him take the hindmost, eh, Bibi?
He roars out an odd laugh, stops, then starting into sudden fluency.
Yes. There he is, sitting in a cafe in Algiers.
Who?
Cress. Samuel Cress. I was just talking about him when you... And along comes one of those street traders, selling shawls. Shawls, beautiful shawls. Pushing them along in his handcart. So our man Cress, he can't let this opportunity slip by, even in a cafe in Algiers on his holiday. But the trader who trades, he has to trade a little. What else is there for him to do? So he begins. How much are they? Ah. And in dollars, how much? Ah. And if he buys 2 shawls now, how much in discount? And the discount for 3, how much? How much, say, if he buys half the stock he sees before him? Would he get a couple from the half he leaves behind thrown in free? Ah. And how many shawls does this trader have apart from what's on his hand barrow? Ah, well then, put that stock on top of this stock. How much discount? So on it goes and on, until at the end, he makes his purchase of 7,150 shawls, discounted down to almost their true worth. The deal of a lifetime, because when he's sold every single one of them, which he will do, he'll have made a clear profit of $348, which will be a 70% profit. That's it, you see, that's the point. For this man of many millions, he will have pulled off a remarkable coup of a 70% profit. Who cares whether it's in millions or in cents? That's what matters to him. That's the spirit of him. That's the whatever of him.
But surely, Joe, you will educate him. You will make him worthy of his purchases, yes?
I am trying. But listen to this, Bibi. 6 months ago, I let him into my private gallery, into the very heart of it, where I keep one of my most sacred shrines, my amico di Sandro. So you had designated it, BB. I folded my hands, so, and gestured, thus. And he looked at this truly, of a grace, a charm, a religious tenderness, of a holiness and illustriousness, as I said to him, whispered to him, holiness, lustrousness, luminousness. And he squinted at it for 8, 9, 10 seconds, and he said, how much? So I doubled the sum that came into my head and added 50,000. He said, the room back there, the one we came through, there were 6 paintings in the room. Who were they by? Well, I said, there were 2 Titians, a Gainsborough, a Tintoretto, a Botticelli, and an Uccello. And how much are those, he asked. Well, I said, and I began to give him the price of each. Ah, he said, but if I bought the lot? I named a price, a sum so huge. Ah, he said, now if I bought this sacred and luminous masterpiece here, and 3 of those other masterpieces in there, what kind of discount would you give me? Ah, and now if I took 5 in the sacred and luminous masterpiece, ah, and if I took all 6 in the sacred and luminous, what would you throw in free? And what discount on the other 6? And so, I was a street trader in Algiers, BB. I began to bargain, yes. Before I knew it, I was bargaining with Mr. Five and Dime over Amico di Sandro and a fistful of price-reduced masterpieces. No, no, I shouted, no, no. This is not for sale, those are not for sale, not to you. They're already sold, they're going to Mellon. All of them to Mellon. Oh, Mr. Mellon, he said. Well, why didn't you just say so in the first place? Because I've only just realized, I said. I haven't told him yet. Well, how do you know he'll buy them, he said. Because, I said. Because I'll tell him that if he doesn't, they'll go to you. Ah, he said. Ah. He didn't say another word except goodbye and thank you on the pavement. Well, of course, since then I've had to allow him some droppings from my table, a tidbit here, a tidbit there, just to keep him quiet. But you know the story about appetite and what it feeds on. And with Frick dead, Mellon dying, what can I do but trade with Mr. Five and Dime?
Mellon is dying?
But not dead, not yet dead, thank God. We can't have him dead until he's finished his life's work, on which his immortality depends. A few paintings for him still to acquire, one in particular, yes. One will be enough if it is the right one, and then he may go in peace and triumph. One of the world's greatest collections is his memorial.
One will be enough?
If it is the right one.
And have you brought it with you, by any chance?
I have.
That is the pleasure you promised me. Well, gossip travels, Joe. I already know. It is a copy of the Adoration of the Shepherds, by Titian.
No, it is not.
Well, what then?
Devine walks to a stand with his case, takes a bunch of keys out of his pocket, uses a succession of keys to open the case, each clicking, and opens the lid ceremonially, then takes the picture out. He carries it to the stand, arranges it there, then steps away and looks towards Bibi, who hasn't moved before coming over to the picture, looking closer and closer, with growing disbelief.
You see, Bibi, not a copy.
You've been carrying this in your luggage, in cars, boats, through customs.
It was thrilling. Took me back to the old days, Bibi, when Mary had the false bottoms to her suitcases and her hat boxes for the icons.
And you smuggled it all the way here just to give me pleasure?
And does it give you pleasure?
Yes. But is that the only reason?
Well, you already know then. I wanted the pleasure of your opinion on it, after you've given it a fresh look.
Ah. Then I will give it a fresh look.
Devine waits, impatient. Bibi goes to the painting and studies it with great concentration. He straightens and looks at Devine.
Well, what?
Well, what? What?
What did you see? What struck you? Something struck you, I saw it strike you.
Yes. The exceptional genius of the pupil that is escaping the genius of the master. This is an act of escape. Yes. Everywhere the influence of the master, and yet, it is a creation that is completely the pupil's. A hatching. A moment of sublime hatching. That is what I suddenly felt, as I'd never felt it before. All the times I'd looked at it, however hard I looked, never had that moment. Thank you, Joe. It was the last thing I expected this evening, especially when you have already given me so much.
Devine says nothing.
I am glad it is going to Mellon. It will be a great addition to his collection. And congratulations to you, too, Joe, are of course in order.
And to yourself, too, as partner. 20% of the commission will be yours.
The two men began to negotiate, as Devine reveals the difference in the market value between a Titian and Giorgione attribution. There are many Titians in existence, but Giorgione's, on the other hand, are extremely rare, a matter of supply and demand. They debate the attribution, the scholars, attempting to reach an agreement suitable for both parties, going back and forth on statement and silences, Titian and Giorgione, Mellon and Cress, honor and wealth. After some time,
And therefore what will you do?
I shall publish to the world my view that the Adoration of the Shepherds is a masterpiece of Titian's apprenticeship to his great master Giorgione.
It will go to Cress. It will go to Cress. He will buy it and exhibit it. God knows where he will exhibit it, but wherever it will be an insult. Furthermore, he will probably exhibit it as a Giorgione.
Then you have the ideal purchaser, one who doesn't give a fig for my views. Still, I can see that it's not a negotiation that you care to be associated with, even by default. Certainly not at this stage of your career, eh? Joe, with your trusteeship of the National Gallery and your reputation already.
You think doing this will save yours, is that it? Well then, it's time somebody told you, BB. You no longer have a reputation. Except with Mellon, alas, a dying man clinging to his sad old habits. But among the tellers of reputations, yours is pretty well known these days for the uses to which it has been put over the years. It's losing its value in the marketplace even. You will have to skulk here and eat hot tea with diminishing funds, and when you die, your collection will be dispersed around the world. And eat hot tea will become what? An old people's home? A hotel for American or German tourists? Perhaps there will be a suite or a public room named after you. Yes, the Bernard Berenson Lounge, where businessmen can do deals and then take cocktails with their weekend girlfriends. And as for your gardens, the chapel...
I like the thought of the weekend girlfriends. That will be preserving something of my spirit.
Or perhaps you hope your reputation will live on through your writings, your 4 Gospels, your own masterpieces. But there are certain doubts there, are there not, about attribution? Rumors have been circulating for some time that the hand that held the pen was not always yours.
The moment I hear that the Adoration of the Shepherds has been ascribed to Giorgione, I shall fire off a contradiction. In fact, I shall probably write the contradiction as soon as you leave, along with a copy for Mellon. Finished business, merely requiring posting.
Devine goes to the painting to take it. BB lets out an involuntary cry.
What?
Leave it a little longer,
Why?
so that I can look at it a little longer.
Why?
Just a few minutes, Joe.
I would prefer to be on my way.
Joe. Joe, you're being petty. That is not you.
Devine hesitates and replaces the picture.
Thank you.
And what did you see this time?
Only the picture. No names, no dates, no history. Only the picture. Now I have it here, as it should be. Worthless, beyond worth. Mine, for whenever I need it.
I've always longed to look into you as you look into paintings, but your eyes are never still. Can't you keep them still?
I think I can keep them still when I look into yours.
They stare into each other's eyes. Bibi smiling, Devine frowning with concentration. Bibi breaks away.
I haven't finished.
I saw what you wanted me to see. How long do you have?
5 years ago, they said I would last 3 months. The 5 years now up, I believe.
The curtain suddenly drops. Intermission.
capricious trout, joyous haste, darted by like an arrow. I stood on the bank in blissful peace, watching the lively fish swim in the clear brook. An angler with his rod stood on the bank, cold-bloodedly watching the fish's contortions, yeah. As long as the water is clear, I thought, he won't catch the trout with his rod. But at length, the thief grew impatient. Cunningly, he made the brook cloudy, and in an instant, his rod quivered, and the fish struggled on it. And I, my blood boiling, locked on at the cheated creature, locked on at the cheated creature, locked on at the cheated creature.
I take some pictures during this one, like 15 pictures or so. Focus on like the plexi. Yeah, plexi structure. It'll get good flash on it. The flash is on. It's on auto.
Albania in 2030. A villa outside Tirana. The periphery blurs the rules, and Albania exists in the periphery. Bibi and Davine are in Albania as partners to discuss ventures in the art market, museums, galleries, collections, patrons. The migration of Africa to Europe is in flight. The demographics of Italy are changing. Sub-migrations are beginning. A flood of Europeans to Albania. A safe haven. Commodities are changing in value, changing the world. Precious materials, gold, lithium, uranium, their extraction, the transformation of their forms of extraction. Black money, international activities, territories, oaths, generations, cultural maintenance. How does it end? Who wins? Is it a game or is it a turn? The rules aren't being broken, they're being blurred. It is a lovely evening, about 7 o'clock. Nikki is seated in garden, reading a letter. There is a bottle of wine in an ice bucket, 4 glasses. She is sipping a glass of wine. Sound of voices, 3 men. Nikki looks up, picks up the letter, puts the letter under some others, as if concealing it, then hurriedly pours herself a glass and settles into what looks like a dozing position. Bibi is positioned furthest to the left, with Nikki beside him. To Nikki's other side is Devine. On the other end is the Albanian.
And the one about logic, you know it?
No.
A man meets a friend he hasn't seen for a long time. He asks, "What business are you in these days?" "I am in the business of logic." "What's that, logic?" "I'll explain it to you." "Have you built many buildings?"
He gestures for the Albanian to answer.
Yes.
"So it's only logical that you acquire art for these buildings?"
Yes.
"If you have art for these buildings, then logically you must have certificates of authenticity, documents validating your ownership."
Yes. Yes, we do.
"And if you have documents for your art, then logically you must also have documents for these buildings to verify them within the bureaucratic systems at large."
Yes, we do that too.
"And if you have documents for your art and for your buildings, logically you must be an upstanding man with strong values, family values, morality."
Yes. Yes. Family is the heart of what we do.
"And if you're an upstanding man with family at the heart of what you do, then logically you must have a wife who you make love to."
Yes.
So, you see, starting with building buildings, I can then deduce logically you must love a woman.
Okay.
The next day, the man meets another friend. He says, "I met Dritten yesterday. He's in the business of logic now." And the friend asks, "What's that?" So I say, "Let me explain. I'll give you an example. Have you built many buildings?"
He gestures for Nikki to join in. They know this dance well. They've been dancing for over a century.
No.
"Oh, no. I didn't know you were one of them."
There is an awkward silence. The Albanian looks each man up and down. Then his eyes move to Nikki. He picks her apart with his eyes.
Where is her husband?
You didn't get it?
I get it. I get all of you. You come here to make joke. All you knows to make joke.
No. No, I don't make joke, and you know why we are here. Let's have a drink.
We will drink, yes, but not this. You like grappa, yes. Our friend told me you like grappa, but we do not make grappa here. Here we make raki. It is like grappa, yes, only it is strong. Like Albania, like Albanian families, it is strong.
Gangsters are a body without tradition, which means they are always ready to break their internal ties and wreak slaughter among themselves. So this they differ very much from the mafia and from the Camorra, which have lasted for centuries, comporting themselves before the outside world with perfect correctness and keeping internal discord quiet through a policy of science, like the Jesuits.
You understand, we are not gangsters. We are a family, and you are our guests. It is okay to make joke, but remember who you are joking about. What is funny, what is not. But here, let us drink.
He pours 3 strong glasses of Rocky for Bibi, Devine, and himself, leaving Nikki to continue drinking her wine. She looks him in the eyes while taking another sip from her glass.
Where is your wife?
She is at home. We are doing business here. She has business at home.
You, where's your home?
I live in Itati with Bibi and
Yes, I have heard. But you have no ring, and you are not Italian. You are...
my father was Russian, yes. Bibi was born in Lithuania, but we made Itati home.
But now, you are here, in my home. I am Albanian. This is Tirania. This is my villa, my home.
Yes, we are grateful, and we are here at your home to discuss.
You are here to discuss homes. You would like to build homes here, yes. Too many Africans in Italy now, yes. Suddenly, the Albanian is not so bad anymore because we have a country and we keep it a home for us. Too many of you and...
Too many of whom, exactly?
All of you. You are not Albanian. I said family is at the heart of what we do. You will never be family. You will always be guest.
And what exactly is it that you do?
We do business.
Yes, business. That is what we are here to do. We would like to.
I know what you would like to do. I know your funds are diminishing. That the Center for Italian Renaissance Studies has no money left. Your reputations, they're well known for the uses to which they have been put over the years. They're losing their value in the marketplace. So you are here because there is no money to eat tati, and because Italy is no longer Italy, it is becoming Africa. You have been to Africa?
Yes, we have been to Africa.
And you thought?
That Africa should stay there, that it was where it belonged.
Yes, at the periphery. But now you're watching it, you are living it, your center collapsing. You skulk around your e-tati with diminishing funds, and when you die, your collection will be dispersed around the world, and e-tati will become what? An old people's home? No, a hotel for Chinese and Emirati tourists with Africans to attend them. Perhaps there'll be suites and ballrooms named after you. Yes, the Joseph Devine Cigar Hall, the Bernard Berenson Lounge, the Nicky Mariano Garden. Maybe even that chapel will become a mosque.
In Algeria, in the middle of a mosque that the colonists had changed into a synagogue, the Torah, once out from Derrière le Rideau, is carried about in the arms of a man or a child. Children who have watched the pomp of this celebration, especially those who were able to give a hand, perhaps dream of it long after, of arranging there all the bits of their life. What am I doing here? Let us say that I work at the origin of literature by miming it, between the two.
There is a hushed moment following her recitation. The three men are confused, perplexed, searching for meaning.
Who said that?
A shawl salesman in Algiers. He also told me that the center could not hold. He read it, but he could see it too. He saw it every day in the Pied Noir. They were homeless, like him.
Like you.
He points slowly, powerfully, with a strong finger at Bibi and then Devine.
And you, all homeless, here to do business, to buy new home, thinking like Americans, because there is no money at E-Tati. It will become a place for businessmen to make deals and to take cocktails with their weekend girlfriends.
I like the thought of the weekend girlfriends. That will be preserving something of my spirit.
There is a small pause.
And where are we now? A place for businessmen to make deals and take cocktails with their weekend girlfriends?
Yes, exactly. I never wanted it to be anything more.
He pours another round of Rocky for the men as Nikki looks him in the eyes again. He sees her glass is empty and fills it.
For the weekend girlfriend. And so, tell me.
We need to move Itati. Not the villa, everything else. The collection, my collection.
You need to move it because...
Because it needs protection. Because it documents, it upholds a history. A world I made, a world I built.
And moving it here will do what?
Here it is cheap. It is cheap to build because of how you do business, and it is cheap to maintain because of how you do business. And here there are no...
There are no Africans. Yes, we make sure of that. Just the right amount of you, Europeans, passing through, sheltering here, the occasional Chinese, the occasional Turk, the occasional Arab, but the right ones, the rich ones, we make sure of that.
And so, we decided it only makes sense to have Itati here, in such a place. It is the only place it can be, without being overrun, damaged, God knows, even looted.
So we will build you a home. You will be guests in it. You will bring your wife, your girlfriend, your collection, and we will hold it for you. It will be open to the public, yes.
We are not here to sell you the works. We are here to...
We are here to do business.
There is a huge pause. Bibi looks to Devine with incredulity.
You act like you are our only option. There is Dubai, there is Qatar, there is Riyadh.
Yes, there are those places. But they are not Europe. They are not even on the periphery. They are outside. They are their own center. Their rules come from oil, extracting oil. You Europeans, you extracted land. You extracted people. You extracted colonies. And then the colonies came to Europe. Not part of Berlin plan, was it?
Bibi and Devine remain in silence. Nikki takes a sip of her Rocky.
And there you cannot even get the certificate for the building. No ownership, lease only. They can take it wherever they want. Do you trust the Arab? Do you trust his rules? In Albania, it is different. In Albania,
You built your pyramids and they collapsed. So you made your own rules.
The Albanian looked shocked that she knew this. In the decade following the fall of Yugoslavia, the Albanian economy collapsed. Half of its GDP because of pyramid schemes. The country changed. Now, a quarter of their GDP was black money. They no longer built pyramids at home. They trafficked what was valuable around the world.
Yes. Your rules left us to starve, so we wrote new ones in the blur of the periphery. You shouldn't care about the outside until
it all collapses in, yes.
And so, how do you want to play? Here we have broken off. Here it is our rules.
Another pause. The homeless exchange glances, attempting to find a direction to steer in unison. Bibi begins to mutter to himself under his breath.
We're in some nightmare other country. What are we to do? What's to become of us?
Devine's ears catch this, and a memory creeps into his mind. Moments before he left Itati, when World War II loomed and the duck was quacking. He remembered the words.
These are terrible times, terrible, but then as my old uncle in Delft used to say, whatever we do, the world goes on spinning. Each day has its tomorrows, and each tomorrow will have its yesterdays, whether we're on the earth or under it.
Well, thank your Delft uncle. Perhaps it sounds more consoling in Dutch.
No, it sounds more depressing in Dutch, but he said it in Yiddish, if he said it at all. I have only my mother's word for it.
Yes, yes. And for a few minutes, we had Giorgione and Itati.
It was a Titian, in my view.
Ah, yes. And then you said that in Itati, we try to make beggars welcome. But we never beg for ourselves, particularly from beggars, especially from rich beggars, and most especially from rich and dishonorable beggars.
There is a silence.
That was last century. These are different times. My offer is this. We will build you a new Itati, a more beautiful one. We will have the best architects of this time, this century. Diller, Scofido, and Renfro. They did the Blur building. They did the shed. They made museums in America, and then a Juilliard school in China. We will bring them here. We will bring Itati here. We will let Italy and its history escape to Albania because Africa is invading. And we can do this. We Albanians can do this because family is at the heart of what we do. And we will have the documents for the buildings, and we will have the documents for the arts. What you said before, have you built many buildings?
I built a canon. I built a world.
I know about your writings, your 4 gospels, your own masterpieces, with your dying reputations. But even there, we've all heard the rumors. My friend, I ask again, have you built many buildings?
There is a huge pause. It is followed by a long silence.
Oh no, I didn't know you were one of them.
Itati in 2050. It remains in Italy, or rather, Neo-Africanized Italy. Bibi and Devine are in the past now. Mary and Nikki look after the collection, accommodating visitors, the right visitors, just as Bibi would have. They are old, nearing the end. Mary's daughter Corinne has joined them indefinitely, as has the Swede. The four women live together under the same roof. They maintain Bibi's life and legacy, his past, his present, his future. It is a lovely evening, about 7 o'clock. Mary is seated in garden, reading a letter. There is a bottle of wine in an ice bucket. 4 glasses. She is sipping a glass of wine. Sound of voices. 3 women. Mary looks up, picks up the letter, puts the letter under some others, as if concealing it, hurriedly pours herself a glass, and settles into what looks like a dozing position. Corinne Costello is positioned furthest to the left, with the Swede beside her. To the Swede's other side is Nikki. On the other end is Mary.
And the one about logic. You know it?
No.
A girl meets a friend she hasn't seen for a long time. She asks,
What are you studying now?
I'm in logic.
What's that? Logic.
I'll explain it to you.
Do you have a collection at home?
Yes.
So it's only logical you also have papers in the collection.
Sure.
If you have papers in the collection, logically the papers must have letters.
Of course.
If the papers have letters, logically, someone must have written them.
Yes, yes.
If you write letters, logically you must like to gossip.
I do like to gossip. Yes.
And if you like to gossip, logically, we can assume that you are not men of the world, men making the world in their own form, because they do not gossip, because gossip is for those who have nothing better to do.
Who said that?
I writ Rogoff.
Corinne assumes a caricature of a Boston accent.
Families are always rising and falling in America.
The Swede begins to mimic Mark Wahlberg in The Departed.
Who said that?
Hawthorne.
I shouldn't have answered your question. I mean, I know we store knowledge and memory here
She points to her head.
and here,
She gestures towards the library and archives.
when they all keep it
In those psychic scarring machines. Yes. When I go down to Florence to work with the migrants, the ones from Kenya, well, they've got it the worst. From training all those data sets in the 2020s, the things they had to see so that the machine could become their god, they would have been better off mining gold, lithium even.
To be an educated Kenyan, existing distantly in the Anglosphere, or to be in the Sahel with the gold, or the Congo near the lithium.
Aye, that's the rub.
That was the rub. But they weren't only forgetting, they were forgetting how to remember. It wasn't a chemical dependency on memory, but a mineral one, whereas here, at Itati, it is still paper and ink. The mechanism of the typewriter going click, yes, of course, but still that simple ancient process of extracting and inscribing without the need for...
Yes, yes. We don't belong in this century. And yet...
When the material conditions keeping its hardware operative will have collapsed, the digital archives to which this civilization has entrusted its cultural legacy will also vanish.
As soon as the storages of contemporary culture will be deprived of a seamless supply of rare metals, electricity, and skilled labor force, they will become inaccessible once and for all, as absent as if they had never existed.
More fragile than the papyri of the ancient world, the immense wealth of digitized culture hangs to a thread, depending for its survival on the continuation of techno-economic settings of this civilization.
The treasure of this society, obsessed with data, will be the first victim of annihilation once its historical body will have exhaled its last breath.
Who said that?
Federico Campagna.
There is a moment of pause as Mary finishes what remains in her wine glass. She pours the remainder of the bottle into her cup. It is a heavy pour.
I can't remember who started asking the questions and who was answering. And then, all of a sudden, every signifier began to mean something, something different.
A lifetime of memories overwhelms her.
Oh, Frank. Oh, Bibi. Oh, Joe. Oh, Frank. Oh, Mr. Costell.
He's long gone, Mother, since you left us for this.
She gestures towards the villa.
But maybe you were right. Someone more famous has made his name after and then he made his name again, and then again, and then again.
Frank Costello, the ex-husband of Mary Berenson. And then Frank Costello, the New York mob boss of the Luciano family. And then Frank Costello, a Boston mob boss, played by Jack Nicholson in The Departed. A little closer to home, but that last and then again?
There's Johnny Toe's Vengeance. The name becomes Francis Costello. But he isn't a mob boss or a gangster. He's a father.
Mourning the murder of his daughter and her family. Then all of that killing, of course. But I remember that he was forgetting, that in the end he was killing for a forgotten memory.
He needed a prosthetic, a system, those stickers. Otherwise, he wouldn't have even known.
And nobody has seen that. We aren't in Hong Kong. We aren't in China. We're in.
It's Africa now. I would know. I've been. And the important parts of Africa, China now. Hong Kong. China again. But that was the thing with Vengeance. The peripheries, the boundaries, the territories were different. Before Francis Costello shoots the triad boss George Fung in the head, he says,
"This jacket belongs to you." He says it in English.
A shame he couldn't have said it in Irish. I mean, of course he couldn't have. The lingua franca, of course, and not Hong Kong. And it was in Macau anyway. A different landscape, different rules. The only ones speaking Portuguese in Macau are the buildings. The ones still remaining, not from just the century before this one, but the century before that. And I mean, he could have.
Corinne breaks off. Her mind adrift between Ireland and France. Their relation, to their common neighbor, the colonizer, the linguistic dominator, England. Then her father's death in 1899 when she was only 10. And then it was English boarding school as a girl, with an Irish grandmother and an absent American mother, writing gospels in an Italian villa. The struggle of questions, like where are you from? Perhaps why she turned to Freud with her husband, whom she met at Cambridge while studying Burg, to answer a different question.
What time is it?
You're asking me? What was it you said, Mary? I can't remember. Who started asking questions and who was answering? And then, all of a sudden, every signifier began to mean something. Something different.
Yes, yes. The periphery has become the center, and it's though we occupy this secret enjambment that remains. An ending, a coda, a musical term, trying to confront the ing of this ending. As time has already stretched from part we ought to have ended. Maybe it was the blur, yes, maybe it was the blur. And maybe there can be an end, like a dead end, a cul-de-sac, like West End, East End, my ends, your ends. But the thing about these ends, they become spaces. You can turn around, you can circle the cul-de-sac, make your way to another street, and find another end. But the temporal end, what happens then? When the timer runs out and reads 0, 0, 0, 0, or 0 o'clock, I suppose that the timer runs out, but the time keeps going. This ing of this ending, unraveling, unspooling, this coda, this musical term, and yet, when the timer runs out and all the sand sits at the bottom of the hourglass, it becomes much simpler that the time has run out, but that time keeps going. This thee recenters us, and we can begin to start again with new rules in accordance to this new center.
But it's too early. The sun hasn't set yet. We can still read here, now, in the garden of Itati, with all of his...
There is a small pause.
With all of Bibi's collection. His papers, his letters, his handwriting, his inscriptions. Some of the football players I tend to. Florence's whole team is like this, dark flesh with these scars. Their bodies carry inscriptions. They write into their flesh and blood and tell me it's ancient handwriting. Sahelian écriture. They tell me I could never understand, never learn to read.
The periphery collapsed into the center.
So we've heard. And then what? Ah, yes. Someone still has to write it.
Mary's hand returns to her stack of letters. She methodically sifts through them before finding what she had hidden, the centuries-old secret, and passes it to Corinne, who begins to read out loud. Camden, New Jersey, U.S., America, February 10th, 1890. It is near sunset after a bright winter day, and I am waiting for my supper. My young nurse is downstairs practicing his fiddle lesson. I have just written 3 letters, and here's a line to thee. Love to the dear little ones and Mr. C. Don't invest thyself too heavily in those reforms, or women's movements, or any other movements over there. Attend to thyself, and take it easy. All going on with me, as of accounts before. Have a bit in last century. Walt Whitman.
Ah, your collection, yes.
Ah, your handwriting, yes.
Ah, from your Gospels, yes.
And the one about logic, you know it?
Yes, yes, I know it so well now.
It is like massaging the motions, repeating over and over again, but adjusting for the body, the bodies.
The four women look at one another with rapturous joy. Finally, the is about to set.
I'm sorry, I've forgotten already. Can you remind me?
I wrote back asking, do you have an aquarium?